actually knows what this thing is for, Batman. Hello there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have the next 6 issues of the Batman Tumbler, and there is really not a lot to do. Right, so let's quickly address that, because a lot of people are getting a little bit narky. I've seen people already started selling up. They don't want to carry on. They're selling up. Oh, this is what I wanted it to be. I'm selling up. I'm getting rid of them. Okay. I'll admit this is weird. The way the parts they've chose to do this one is odd. But the only thing I can assume from that is this isn't a standard construction of vehicle. So I think what's probably going to happen is, as opposed to where we would normally build a rolling chassis, then we put an engine in it, then we build the cabin, then we build a frame separately, then we bolt it all together. Don't think that's happening. So I think what's happening is we're building the cockpit, we're building the cabin, then we're going to build the frame, the chassis that's going to sit on. And then I believe the frame is going to attach directly to it. I don't think we're going to make a separate frame and then marry the two together. I think we're going to build around it once this is in, which is why I think we've got to do the electrics and all now, because I don't think we're going to get a chance to do them later on. That would make sense to me. So unfortunately, I know it's not all the big sexy pieces that you want, but those are coming, man, and these are all work you've got to do. So it doesn't matter what order you do it in, you're going to have to do it. I want big sexy parts, of course I do, but you've got to do the little bits as well. Now, this gets really weird with this one, because the thing we're building in this one, no one knows what this is for. I know what it is, because I've built one of these before. I've built this exact one before, and I built it for the Iron Man over there. And it's a rotating disc, almost like a Lazy Susan. So the rumour mill's going wild with exactly what this is for, with some people thinking that this is for the car to sit on and move, and others thinking that it goes onto a PC Ultra car, but they don't tell you. In this one, they don't tell you what it's for, so we'll never know. We're going to build this thing, put it away until they tell us to bring it up. But we're going to start building it now anyway. We'll be putting the ball bearings into the cage. So without further ado, let's get this open and let's go on this. At the end of this one, we'll be talking through, again, about Batman's cinematic journey with, dear God, one of the worst films ever made, Batman and Robin. But it's part of the story, so we got to go through it, and it is a weird one. So let's get into this. So this is what we get inside of part 29. Obligatory paper. What's this? So this is one I've spilled out. There's only one left in there. These, I would imagine, are screws. Yeah, okay. We then have the actual cage itself, and then we have 6 ball bearings. So what I'm going to do is, I know where these go. I'm going to put the ball bearings in first. So you're going to put 1 ball bearing in each of these holes. And do them one at a time if you want, but once they're in, as long as you're not moving this around too much, you don't have a bigger problem. As I said, I have done this before. I did it for Iron Man. This actually went on the base of the Iron Man model. So what we're going to do is take in these pieces. They are going to sit over, and they're going to lock the ball bearing in place. So that one done. Something there. That one there. And that one there. Now, the reason why I think this is actually going to sit underneath the car is because I know we've got a steering engine coming up, which means the steering is going to be automated. So when we were wondering, well, how are we going to turn it if the steering wheel isn't linked to it, because the steering wheel isn't, well, it looks like we're going to be doing it by remote control or by switch. You're going to press a button, the wheels are going to turn automatically. So we know how the wheels now turn, which would suggest, to do that, the weight of the car has to be lifted off the front. To lift the weight of the car off the front, it would make sense that there's something underneath the vehicle. Something like this would be holding it up, giving it... So it's not lifting it off the ground, but it's taking the weight. So when it turns, this gives it a bit of movement. Otherwise, you just chew the gears. So that is what I think this is for. Could be completely wrong. I don't know. But I reckon that's what this is for. So we can hold this in with 2 screws. But yeah, who knows? I'm interested what you think it is. If you don't think it's that, what do you think it is? Because I can't see where else in the vehicle this goes. I just can't. I'm assuming this is designed to hold the weight, so you can rotate the thing, so when the wheels move, it's not just trying to carry the whole weight of the vehicle around. It will just move automatically on this kind of Lazy Susan device that we're building here. Because as I said, this thing can support the entire weight of the Iron Man model and rotate it. I'm going to get these last ones done and we'll take a look. That is that one built, and as you can see, that's how that works. So these are held in, they're not going anywhere, but this thing now rotates. Now, there is more to do to this, so in 30 we are finishing this one off. But again, it doesn't actually tell you anywhere in the instructions what this is for. It's just referred to as the cage and ball bearings. It doesn't say where it goes. There's no illustration of whereabouts in the vehicle it's going to go. It doesn't tell you. There's nothing. But that's the way that is. Let's have a chat. It's not, I mean, I wish there was more to tell you, show you, but that's what we've got. Now, like I said, I've built one of these before. I built with Iron Man, and it does hold the entire weight of Iron Man. I genuinely think that's what that's for. I think it's so the car can turn, because if you didn't, I think the wheels wouldn't turn. It would try and drag the entire weight of the vehicle and just chew the gears. So I think that's what it's for. Could be completely wrong, but I can't see where else it would go. I can't see what else it would be used for. I just can't. But we'll see. That's only half of it built, so we're finishing the rest of that in issue 30. And again, I get it. I get that you're pissed off, but I thought there'd be more. Yeah, but I mean, look, it's got to come. I mean, there's no two ways about it. This stuff's got to come. So it might be a case of once we got through the boring stuff, all of a sudden we accelerate and we start getting the giant pieces. But it is the way it is. And again, this thing has got some very expensive kind of servo motors and some electrics going into it. So it makes sense that they're trying to spread the load over multiple issues. But that's the way it is. If you are just stopping around for our build instructions, thank you for stopping by. If you're sticking around for our bat chat, we are talking about, oh dear, this one. Now, I couldn't wait to see this movie. That came out in 1997, and me and my buddy asked you to go to the movies at least once a week. And in 1997 went every week. 1997 is kind of, we remember it fondly, me and my buddy Ashley, because it was a fantastic year for cinema. There wasn't any particularly, well, I say that, there were some great movies come out. The best thing about it was there was a decent film came out every week for 52 weeks. It was fantastic, right? So this is a year where, and I say decent, some of them weren't, but I mean, there was always something that we wanted to go and see was on. And in the summer that this came out, Men in Black was released. I want to say Con Air. What else? Jurassic Park, The Lost World. This was the year they did the re-release of the original Star Wars trilogy. Nothing to Lose, The Replacement Killers, Mimic, Relic. There was a lot in this one year. The Mars Attacks. There were loads in this one. Anaconda. In this one year, there were a lot of movies. Gross Point Blank. The Fifth Element. And we went to see all of them. We went to see every single one that came out. And I can remember seeing the trailers for Batman and Robin, and they didn't show you anything in the movie. Showed you nothing at all. So the teaser trailer was exactly that. It was a teaser. And it was the Bat logo flying through the air and the Robin logo flying through the air, and they both just sort of merged, and it was Batman and Robin. That was it. That's all you got. You got no actual clips of the movie, and we were like, "Oh, this will be good." And it sounded good. It was, George Clooney, who was kind of new to Hollywood at that time. He wasn't the guy he is now by any means. He'd just been in From Dusk Till Dawn, so he'd seen a different side of Clooney, so the darkness to him, thinking, okay, maybe he's going to bring it when it comes to Bruce Wayne. Sadly, no. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to be in it, who at the time was still the biggest action movie star in the world. And it was like, wow, they've got Arnie for Batman. That's going to be awesome. It just all looked like it was shaping up well. So they had Alicia Silverstone, who just was like the big thing at the time because she'd just been in Clueless. So it all looked good. Everyone had high hopes for this movie. They really did. So it wasn't like people going in their daggers out. We had high hopes for it. But it just did not deliver. So why didn't it deliver? That's what we'll be discussing about over the next 6 ones. Well, immediately we've lost Val Kilmer. So we'll address that in this one. Where's Val Kilmer gone? Right. So Val Kilmer, according to the official word of Joel Schumacher, so Val Kilmer kind of quit and we kind of fired him. Right. So it's like, this is Hollywood talk for we'll part ways, but we'll do it in a way that says that you've chose you want to pursue other projects. Now, Val Kilmer claims that he wanted to be in the Island of Dr. Moreau because he wanted to star in a movie with Marlon Brando. Now, if you've seen the Island of Dr. Moreau, it is an absolute train wreck. It is terrible. And the story of what went on in the production, the filming of the Island of Dr. Moreau is the stuff of legend. It's well worth reading up on. Because Val Kilmer, by all accounts, and I know he's ill, I don't mean to speak ill of the ill, but by all accounts, Val Kilmer's a bit of a dick. He's quite hard to work with, which is probably why his career didn't flourish as much as it could have, because every time he was given an opportunity like Batman, he kind of acted a bit of a prima donna. And that's what happened with Batman Forever. He got a bit too big for his boots. He was difficult. He wouldn't turn up to set on certain times. He refused to come out of his trailer. And there was an incident that he said, and this is kind of the vanity of the man. It was somebody's children were brought to set to kind of see the set and the car and everything. And Val Kilmer comes walking out without the outfit on. He's not wearing the outfit. And the kids couldn't care less. Kids weren't interested. Now, this is Val Kilmer. He's playing Batman. They were like, whatever, because they were looking at the Batmobile. The kids couldn't care less. And Val Kilmer took that to heart. So he's like, oh, anyone can be behind the cowl. They don't care. I'm like, well, why would they care, man? They've not seen you play Batman yet. They know you as kind of Iceman from Top Gun that came out, 5 years ago. They don't, 15 years ago. They don't know who you are. So he really got butthurt by that, and he kind of had a bit of a strop. I want people to know me for me, not for Batman. It's like, well, you shouldn't have been bloody Batman then, should you? So it was a bit... now, that's one version of events. Another version of events is they scored Arnold Schwarzenegger to star in Batman and Robin early doors, and by all accounts, a production meeting they were at where they told Val Kilmer it's going to be Mr. Freeze and it's going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. He threw his toys at the pram, and the reason why is because the story goes that he had applied for, auditioned for a role in Total Recall, and Arnold Schwarzenegger said no. He said he didn't like him. He said he didn't like his attitude, didn't want to work with him. So Val Kilmer thinking, well, I'm Batman. I've got that same sway. Apparently laid down that I'm not working with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it's like, yeah, no, but he's Arnie. You're Val Kilmer. There's a big difference. So they naturally parted ways. So we now have an incident again where we've now got our fourth Batman film, but we're on our third Batman. It's not looking good, is it? So people aren't kind of rooting with the original Batman. We've changed Batman again. But again, the other problem they had was we spoke about Batman Returns not doing the business they wanted it to do, and it didn't shift merchandise and toys. Well, Batman Forever did. Batman Forever was financially a hit. Critically, it was not. Financially, it definitely was. Shifted a lot of merchandise. It got them a lot of retail partners. So they decided they wanted more with Batman and Robin. So the actual demand was that Batman and Robin be more toyetic, is the word they used. It needs to be more toyetic. So much so that they actually had toy design companies sit in on pre-production meetings for the movie. So you've got the likes of Hasbro sitting in on a pre-production meeting for the movie. Mr. Freeze's gun was designed by a toy company so they could replicate it at cost for the toy market. So you can already see things aren't looking great for this movie. It is essentially a toy commercial. And it's amazing that we've gone, only 8 years previous to this, 6 years previous to this, we've gone from, 8 years. 8 years previous to this, we've gone from Tim Burton's very dark Batman to what becomes of Batman and Robin, which is an absolute disaster. It's a critical and financial disaster. And we'll go into more about why that happened in issue 30 of Hachette's Build the Batmobile Tumbler. We'll be back very, very soon with issue 30 and more Bat Chat as well. So if you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. You can contact us, buildingboysoutlet.com, in a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And remember, Gotham needs us. See you next time.